Welcome to A Slice with Dice, a place for honest conversations about the realities of education. I'm Corey Alderdice, Executive Director of the Arkansas School for Mathematics, Sciences, and the Arts. I've spent nearly 2 decades navigating the joys, challenges, and unexpected moments that come with leading schools. Each week, I'll share what works, what doesn't, and everything in between when it comes to igniting the full potential of our communities. I'm excited to share this journey with you. So let's get started. As we start a new year, I want to talk about a phrase that I came across recently while doing some holiday shopping. Speed is a number. Fast is a feeling. It's sketchy, sure, but I think it's also a striking metaphor for the work of school leadership, especially when it comes to making decisions. As school leaders, we're constantly surrounded by data. It's embedded in everything we do: test scores, enrollment figures, budget reports, survey results. These numbers give us a sense of speed. They tell us how fast or slow things are moving. But school leadership isn't just about measuring speed. It's about understanding the feeling of fast. And that's where the human element comes in, our observations, our instincts, and the emotions that come from leading real people in real situations. This idea gets to the heart of a challenge every leader faces: balancing data with the human experience. The data might tell us what is happening, but the feelings tell us why it matters. Now, let's take a closer look at the role of the leader in this balancing act. On one hand, the numbers are essential. They provide clarity. They help us track progress and identify problems. A good leader understands the power of data. It's how we measure growth, allocate resources, and justify decisions. But effective leadership is more than simply relying on the numbers. It's about interpreting them in the context of the lived experiences of your students, teachers, and community. And this is where feelings come into play. As leaders, we have to be present in the hallways, in the classrooms, at community events. We have to listen not just to what's being said, but also to what's being felt. When a teacher expresses frustration, or a parent shows concern, or a student struggles to make eye contact, those moments carry as much weight as any data point on a spreadsheet, and it's our job to pay attention. In fact, one of the most important roles of a leader is to be the bridge between the measurable and the meaningful. We take the numbers and pair them with what we see and hear to create decisions that work not just on paper, but in practice. That's the real skill, not just crunching the numbers, but translating them into action that feels right for the communities we serve. There's also a responsibility that comes with leading this way. Leaning too heavily on data can lead to decisions that feel disconnected or mechanical. When a leader says, well, the data says X, but hasn't considered how that decision will land with the people it affects, trust erodes. On the other hand, relying entirely on instinct or personal observations can lead to bias or inconsistency. Without data as a foundation, our decisions risk becoming ungrounded or reactive. The role of the leader is to balance both, to weave the speed and the fast into one cohesive approach. It's about using data to validate what you're seeing and feeling, and using your observations to ask better questions of the data. For example, if attendance data shows a decline, you don't stop at the number. You walk the halls, talk to students, and dig into the reasons why. If the survey results indicate a drop in staff morale, you don't just look for quick fixes. You sit with your team, listen to their concerns, and build a deeper understanding of the problem. This work, though, takes time, and it's not always straightforward, but it's what separates leaders who manage from leaders who inspire. The best decisions are the ones that respect both the numbers and the emotions behind them. Let me share another angle on this. As leaders, we're also decision makers under pressure. We don't always have the luxury of waiting for perfect data or fully unpacking every feeling before we act. This is where leadership instincts come in. It's about developing a sense of when to lean on the numbers and when to trust your gut, and having the courage to own that decision. But this isn't something you do in isolation. The leader's role is to build a culture where others feel empowered to bring both data and feelings to the table. You create space for teachers to share their observations and their challenges. You ask students not just what they're learning, but how they're experiencing school. And you make sure parents and community members feel heard, even when the decisions you make don't align perfectly with their expectations. And this kind of leadership requires vulnerability. It's admitting that the data doesn't have all the answers and that feelings can be messy, contradictory, and difficult to navigate. But when you're willing to bring both into the conversation, you end up with decisions that are not just efficient, but also deeply human. Here's the bottom line. As school leaders, we're not just stewards of data. We're stewards of people. The numbers will tell us what's happening, but the people around us, their voices, their emotions, their lived realities will tell us why it matters. If we lose sight of either one, we lose the balance that makes leadership impactful. So the next time you're faced with a tough decision, use the data to understand the speed of what's happening. But let your observations and relationships guide the feeling of how to respond. Because at the end of the day, leadership isn't just about moving fast. It's about making the journey meaningful for everyone involved. A Slice with Dice is a production of the Arkansas School for Mathematics, Sciences, and the Arts. I hope today's reflection sparked some thoughts for your own journey. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe, share, and leave a review. Let's keep learning and leading together. Until next time, keep striving for growth and excellence. Thanks for tuning in.